welcome back to the final Better Off PropCast of the regular season. We have a Week 18 Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders, or formerly known as the San Diego Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. I'm surprised I got that right on the first try. Dan Skidlowski hosting, as always, with me, our esteemed host and colleague, Prop Holliday. So, Prop, we got what's setting up to be a fireworks Sunday night, last NFL game of the regular season, bar none. It is a win and you're in, lose and you're out, maybe type of scenario. And we'll get into that. So currently, Chargers are favored it at by three, -3, -162 on the money line. Raiders +136, so pretty even. They're projecting over under 48.5, a little higher, projecting a little bit more offensive heavy game. Like I said, winner is in. What do you just let's what do you think?
Sure.
I always love to ask you this, just gut check going into the game. What are you expecting? Are you leaning one way? Do you like one team? How do you think this game's going to go?
Gut check, I have high hopes, which is probably not the way to go into any primetime game that we've learned this year. I love a win and you're in scenario. The over under set, I think, at 48 or 48 and a half. So they're projecting a high scoring game. Just looking at these two teams on paper, I think the Chargers have a better head coach. I think they have more talent on offense and defense, and I think they've played more consistently throughout the second half of the season, with the exception of the Texans' loss for the Chargers. My gut goes with the Chargers. They're 3-point favorites on the road, which would be 6 on a neutral field. I do think the Chargers get in. I do think they're going to be a team that nobody would want to play in the first round of the playoffs. Herbert has inserted himself in the conversation of he's on the fringe. We have our group, we have Brady, we have Mahomes, we have Rodgers, and now he's in that cusp group of Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray. So it's really awesome to see how far he can ascend, and that really comes when you play in the playoffs. So gut check, I think the Chargers win. I think they covered the 3. I hope it's a high scoring game. We do get Darren Waller back for this Raiders team. They have not had him since the Thanksgiving Day win against the Cowboys. Their offense has completely stalled since he's been out of the lineup. So curious to see if they can get back on track so quickly offensively now that Waller is back. But that's my gut. I have high hopes. I do think it's going to be an entertaining game. I do think it's going to be higher scoring. And you'll see that later in the same game parlay. It's week 18. We're going to go for broke and try to go out on a high note.
Yeah, I feel like it was just a few weeks ago that we were talking about before the Chargers and Chiefs Thursday night game, and we were having a similar conversation about Herbie fully loaded, and he balled out in that game, and I'm hoping that he has a similar primetime game tonight. So I know you're very high on Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert a lot, and I think, yeah, like you said, you'll kind of see that reflected in our picks,
Quick question.
and our parlays for this week.
Quick question
Yep.
before we get off. I want to throw this at you, a curveball. I didn't prep you for this. You are starting a franchise. You can pick Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert as your quarterback. Who do you pick for the next 10 years?
Cut.
I'm glad I didn't prep you on this.
Yeah, you did not prep me on this, and this is annoying because this is the kind of thing I would throw at you, but I didn't expect you to throw it at me. God, it's tough. How much? Herbert's 2 years older than Burrow,
I think so.
right? Like
In
they're
that ballpark.
basically the same
They're basically
age
the same age.
in quarterback years.
Mm-hmm.
I would go Justin Herbert.
Okay.
No,
I don't think you can go wrong. I'm hoping
Right.
that this Herbert Burrow becomes Brady Manning, where they're jockeying for the 1 and 2 in the AFC every year. I mean, obviously Mahomes is going to be there, so that goes without saying. Mahomes is still in his mid-20s. I don't want to get past that, but
yeah.
The only thing that I actually like Burrow more. The only thing that scares me is Burrow's injury history. The Bengals haven't done a great job of keeping him upright early, but there's I like this is going to sound so corny. I like the moxie of Joe Burrow. I love the swag of Joe Burrow.
Joe.
I don't think
Stogie Joe.
I don't think you could go wrong with either of them. I would just go Burrow, but to me, it's a coin flip. I wanted to throw that at you. But yeah, man. I mean, Herbert's damn good.
Yeah, I mean it's honestly if Burrow doesn't have that injury, I might go Burrow. That was just kind of the first thing that played in the decision was
The
that was a bad injury he went through,
The
and
only
we'll
thing I
see.
think Burrow needs to improve upon is being able to get the ball out faster. He holds on and he looks for the deep play, which is awesome to watch. But I think if he can get that clock in his head to get the ball out in under 3 seconds, he can really become one of the greats. That's the only knock I would have on him is he keeps his eyes downfield a little too long. But no, that's it. Sorry to get us off track. Let's go back.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to the game.
I weighing my last question would just be, who do you think of the two right now has the better receiving core?
Ooh.
Because that's going to play a lot in how good a quarterback is how good his receivers are
Who
he's throwing to.
I would say the top three of Cincinnati is better than the top three of the Chargers. I love Tyler Boyd. He was a starter at some point in the season, and then became the slot wide receiver to go with Chase and T.
Yeah.
Higgins. Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams are awesome. Keenan Allen a little bit more of an injury case. Mike Williams kind of
Mhm.
at his best. He's one of the better wide receivers in his league, in the league. But you don't know what you're getting from him week to week. This was a contract year for him. I think he performed well. I think he ends up if they don't break the bank for him, someone will pay him next year as to be a number
Yeah.
one wide receiver in their offense.
Yeah.
But the top three, I think, of Cincinnati are better than the top three of the Chargers. I would love to see what Cincinnati could do with a first or second round tight end, or perhaps bringing in a vet potential All Pro tight end. I don't know who the free agents are. But I'd love to see them add tight end to that offense because it's explosive.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you that Cincinnati has the better receiving core, and that makes me think that Burrow versus Herbert straight up with the same weapons, Herbert might look a little bit better than he does. But that is just we are off topic. I love this. I love the question. I was not expecting it. Hey, anything can happen week 18. So let us go on now to the PropCast parlay. You know what the PropCast parlay is by now. I'm going to give a leg. Prop Holiday is going to give a leg. Twitter users are going to decide on the third leg. We are going to put $25 on it, and if it wins, we are going to give it away to somebody who retweeted the tweet and follows us on Twitter. So I'm going to give my leg first, and I like Keenan Allen touchdown. Just talked about him. Just talked about Justin Herbert. Prop Holiday's high on the Chargers this game. I also believe the Chargers are going to win. Keenan Allen, just I wanted a little bit more value in who I wanted. I could have taken Eckler. I could have taken some of the a little there. I guess Eckler was the only one who had better odds than him. But I said let's get into positive money. He's like plus 130, I believe. Keenan Allen touchdown. That's basically it. No rhyme or reason. I think the Chargers are going to win. I think Justin Herbert's probably going to throw for 2 or 3 touchdown passes, and I think Keenan Allen's going to be one of them. Bob, what do you got for us?
I went chalky. This game really, obviously winning in it matters. I think you go with your best playmakers, and I think for this Chargers offense, it's when Austin Eckler gets going. So it's Austin Eckler touchdown. He scored in 4 straight games. I think he scored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He scored a touchdown in 9 games. I think they're either 8-1 or 7-2 in games where he scores. So if I know that, certainly Brandon Staley knows that. Get Eckler in the end zone, get this offense going on the ground. It makes it easier for Justin Herbert through the air. So it is chalky. I think, what do we say? It was minus 160?
On FanDuel or on DraftKings, currently minus 190.
It's minus 160 on FanDuel. I do feel
Okay.
good about him getting in the end zone at some point. It'll be a part of my same game parlay, but very important to get the ground game going for this Chargers offense. Austin Eckler to score is my safe lock of this parlay.
Do you think there's any value in Eckler plus 260 for 2 touchdowns?
I usually like my 2 touchdown numbers to be over 4-1. And
Yeah.
who has that stat? I do, because I play at least every single week. I put in a 2 touchdown score parlay. If anyone's
Mhm.
anyone's under plus 400, I don't even play them. That's usually Jonathan Taylor, and it's reserved for like Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So plus 260 isn't as great odds to me, but I do think
Yeah.
Eckler gets at least one.
Cool. All right, let's get into the bread and butter of the Propcast parlay, the same game parlays. As always, we are going to save the best for last, and I am going to go first. So I have a little bit of an interesting one. If you listen to last week's, I decided to just throw logic out the window and just start picking legs to see if I have any more success after 18 weeks of doing this. So I picked two people that I like this week. Actually, one person that I like and one person that owes me from the Thursday night matchup when we did our podcast parlay, who is Jared Cook, who I had to score a touchdown. I put like there was a promo for pick an anytime touchdown score and whatever yada yada. Jared Cook drops that ball on the goal line wide open. I think he owes me some retribution here, so I'm going to put him in for two things. So I have two touchdown scorers. That is going to be Hunter Renfrow from the Raiders and Jared Cook from the Chargers. I also like I'm going to take both of them over on yards. Renfrow was currently set at 59.5 and Cook was set at 34.5. And then to just mix it up and be fun and be quirky in week 18, I'm going to pick Derek Carr to have 8 or more rush yards and Justin Herbert to have 15 or more rush yards. So a little bit of a strange parlay with some strange people and some strange legs, but it's plus 5,500, which is about exactly where I was on Monday night and pretty much exactly where I was the week before. So it's going to be 10 to win 560. So that's a Renfrow and Cook touchdowns, Renfrow and Cook overs, Herbert 15 rush yards, Carr 8 rush yards. That's it. This one's going to hit. I can feel it. We're going into the postseason with a bang. But Bob, let's hear some actual good plays, please.
I've been safe the last few weeks on these same game parlays, but it's week 18 and I'm throwing safety out the window. I'm going for broke. I am going to put $25 on this. It is I have three touchdowns. Austin Eckler is one. Darren Waller is back. He is another. I do think they get him involved specifically in the red zone to boost this offense. And Mike Williams is the third. So Eckler, Waller, and Williams are my touchdowns. I think Hunter Renfrow thrives when Darren Waller plays. So I'm going an alt receiving line of 60 yards for Renfrow. Also, Josh Jacobs has been getting it done more on the ground lately. I think his over under for rush yards is 61 or 62 and a half. I'm going to take the alt rush line of 60. This Raiders offense is now at full force, obviously minus Henry Ruggs. But you got Waller, you got Renfrow, and Josh Jacobs has been playing well. So Josh Jacobs alt rush yards at 60, and then the Chargers money line. So it is six legs, three are touchdowns, one's the Chargers, and my lines are Renfrow 60 yards and Jacobs 60 yards, both going over. It's 25 to pay 2,200. So the odds are, I'm sorry, almost 90 to 1, 89 to 1. But I do think it's a higher scoring affair. I just hope we're entertained, man. Let's go out the regular season on a bang. I am leaning Chargers, obviously, but I wouldn't be shocked with Darren Waller back if the Raiders pull this out. I really like Brandon Staley. I love Justin Herbert, and I do think they make some noise in the playoffs. So that is my same game parlay, 90 to 1, and we're going for it, man.
90 to 1. Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to have another conversation with Prop Holiday after this, of course, off camera, about who I should be betting on because last week
Didn't I give you
he helped
someone?
me out. If
I gave you someone last week.
for the Packers game, for the
Oh,
Packers game,
Lazard.
we had just finished recording the Monday night Browns Steelers podcast, and I said we recorded Sunday night, and it was like 20 minutes before the start of the Packers game. And I said, "Should I be betting anyone tonight?" You said, "I like Lazard and Dylan." And I said, "Okay."
And they
So I put down $5. Put down $5 on a Lazard Dylan parlay and won 350. So I gotta after we stop rolling when everyone only I can get the good information. I'll have to ask about the 425 games or something. But yeah, the Raiders. What a crazy year this has been for the Raiders. They start out the season, opening up their new stadium, and by the end of it, you don't have Gruden, you don't have Ruggs. But you still make the playoffs, and it kind of makes you want to root for them, honestly, after all the shit they've had to deal with this year. But
It's
I do
actually
think the Chargers are going to get it done.
it's been a theme for them the
Um,
last few years. Like last season, they started off like 6-2, 8-1. They tailed off the second half of the season. This season, I think it was the same exact thing. They started off hot. They had their midseason controversies. They had a big injury to Darren Waller. The offense sputtered, um, but they're still here in a position to make the playoffs. Um, every wild card weekend we have one game where it's like I mean you're just lucky to be here. I think last year it was Tampa Bay Washington and that game was actually competitive. um,
yeah.
if the Raiders get in, they're going to be the game like, oh shit, you really shouldn't be here. But if the Chargers get in, I think that's a game nobody wants. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts wild card weekend no matter who wins.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of wild card weekend, we have not ironed out the details, but I am sure that Prop Holiday will be gracious enough to join us back, and we'll have some more propcasts for all of the rounds of the playoffs, up into and through. I'm sure our Super Bowl extravaganza is going to be a sight to be seen, but that is going to do it. We have a winner go home AFC West matchup. Like we said, two teams. The Raiders are trying to squeak in, and the Chargers are trying to maintain the red hot nature that nobody's going to want to face them. And let's just hope we have a good game, and let's hope that we win some bets. So just a couple last things. Make sure to download the BettorOff app and get your picks in for the game before the game kicks off. You can get those stats up, climb that leaderboard, get that followers, get that money. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure to take a look for the PropCast parlay. That'll be up probably about the same time that this is being posted. So head over to our Twitter and get your pick in for a leg, and make sure to vote on that later tonight, because this is going to hit. Like this is a no-brainer. This should be minus 10,000, because this is going to, it doesn't even matter what the third leg is, it's going to hit. Follow us on Instagram at BettorOff, TikTok at BettorOff. Thanks for watching all season. We're excited for the postseason. A big shout out to Bob for joining us through this whole crazy thing. He started, what a year it's been for Mr. Bob Stanley. When we recorded our first, not to go unnoticed, but when we recorded our first preseason PropCast, where were you sitting on Twitter followers? 2,000, 3,000,
2 or 3,000, something like that.
2 or 3,000 at the time, and now it's at
14.
14.
An
What a
exponential jump.
year.
Uh,
What a year.
a
What
lot.
a fall.
Yeah,
Not even a year.
it's been cool. I mean, it's made me think, where can I take this? Not for nothing, I want to shout you out. When we did that preseason propcast, you nailed Micah Parsons. You nailed him for defensive rookie of the year. I'm pretty sure he's got that locked up. I was on Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year, and if the NFL wasn't so in love with the Dallas Cowboys, he should have that award. They're going to give it to
Right.
Dak Prescott. I don't know if they already did or not, if they announced it. It's essential. It was the Dak Prescott award going into the season. It deserves to be
Yeah,
Joe Burrow's, but I feel like I nailed that. So
I agree. No, you did right on the head. I also went back and watched after you mentioned the Michael Parsons thing. Also said he would be a Pro Bowler. I had him pegged. The only thing I think I got wrong was I said he would have. I said he'd be defensive player of the year or defensive rookie of the year. Although he might win defensive player of the year, probably not though. Defensive rookie of the year, Pro Bowl, and have 100 tackles, and I think he has like 92 or 93. Unless postseason tackles count, then we might get up there. But yeah, no, it has been quite the 5 or 6 months for Mr. Bobby Stanley Jr. And we are very excited that he has been here the whole time and didn't jump ship as soon as he hit that 27,000 parlay, because better men might have. But we are glad to have him with us. We are looking forward to going into the postseason and then beyond, obviously. But that is going to wrap up the Week 18 Propcast. Get your picks in the BettorOff app. We are looking forward to a good game, and we're looking forward to winning some bets. So until next time, until Wild Card Weekend, thank you for watching, and we will see you later.
take care, guys.